mi kudo vo bibla to egbe bo so kudo azon ototon me iri ni na miton itoho me eko gobo ko tin po mi po to jeranji to divie weyin ma ogbe josu ena do na mi de vo bibla lo eyi do to toho me to egbe na minisi ma ogbe josu na we toho lo me no do to egbe to vo bibla egbe to me be gbe to le ton
Kefas awanu to vo bibla lo he wa yegbe mesusu matan mi yi alausa bo Ìkẹjà yen nso yi ojodu ogba bo ledo de po lepo mi modo azan wa to lasek ton le ye ma ya o wa tite lo ejedo nibe to ganshi atan afonu ye ma wa kakaje ganho de ganho lo soho de wa ye ma be we ma vo bibla ton ye ma be hen we ko tite lo do abe ganji o yi nudi ganho da kavi ga wiropo mo so we mesusu ye ma ton mi mo jojale ye to bolu gba to alioji ye ma te yi bodo yi blavo me so yi le de do iro azan wa to lasek ton ye ma ya o ton na tito lo bóyá we wa zan ye do ya o sinwegbe do ye ni ma je tu klablo so ehele eyin onu de jedo me ho plale to kando vo bibla ho ye ni pondo eji modo pole mi so yi fidele bo mi modo ye do ohun ni ma wa zan blo so ganshi do po afonu je gaton we me do pole ye to ye gbugban leoji mi so modo me to nu dudu sale to alioto ye to tito ye to bayi ye to nu dudu ye to sa to me le ma mo vo bibla di azo ye ton de jedo ye ni basi na otogbo kavi ayi maten de yete ekele po eye onu dopo de ye onu he mayan
eyan to enere po medi etewe mi na we mi mo azon lasiek tondo ene ovozon kwe awon ri matin ton na we azon ye ton epe gando na we gbetole ye na mo vivi nu ye bayi lo tondo we nu gbetole maton na do bravo
de do jenu kan dai do mesusu to ye me azon wa to la sekilo to fide yen yi mo ye ma ya o wa ye ma ya o je o ten ovo vi blaton di ni so jijo ena de ke gbetole ni de dogodo e mayan
eyin we mayan
e mayan
mo to din mi tin do lenu horudu ko bo so tin do lenu horudu lavi gban tonu kun awe to lenu horudu gban tonu kun awe lo le chenchen e tewe mi modo mo eyin azon de jedo na ojanji no to de ye to vo bla na to egbele ni bayi gan azon ye ton na eyin do mo azon ye ton to menu le mo do mo e pe gan bo ye mo ohia ye na ton na to bravo ma
onu dagbe we akan bi Kefas ye wa azon de ye si gan wa
o eyan
kando yen na veye do ye ni so wa mede pepe de na jazipo lojidi kando yen na veye do ye ni so wa azon do eji ganji uweyin le do ni no wiwe sin ho to menule ye ma no kan ogboye ton do fide je ni ye so ki kan gbodo fi do ten majele ena no he awutu wa ni mi ma ti to le do ni no wiwe me awutu na no tin to gbele ponu ene laso dike akwede jedo ye ni no zan bodo dunu we na no zan do awutu ji to menule ni ye ni gwa lo na holudu losun ni holudu to itan bayi to menule losun ni so bayi ye ton ṣùgbọ́n mede pepe de na je asipoji to lenu holudu ko podo awa lenu holudu gba tonu ko awe lole ye ni wazan to kan do po me bo kan bi o to menule onu ye dúró le na nu kan yin do si gan pla mele po to awon le mateme
eyan otogbo holudu ko eko de akwe ye ko che akwe de na zan to lenu holudu le ye ko to dide son apoto gbo holudu ton me bo eto we wa trele bio akpo lenu holudu letome e ma ido akpo ayima ten letome ba e do ya do mo to gbo holudu dro do mo na lenu le ye ni mo vivi o gandudu mi dodo leton bon e wa dike bo eyin azon vivede de janji no tole do na penu kun ego na to modomo le do yeton eyin wiwe cheche bo me so yin come gan cancel le lo su ye na to alogo na to dike na to menu le niyan azon yeton bo to egbe edo ya do mo beto pevide weton bodo bravo eyin nu e manyan bo eso je do na ye ni mo nukume na nu eyin ojuro le do dopo ton le do dopo ye tindo hudo ye ton le de si gando do mo eya na ye ni bayi na mi bo eyin do mo ye ma mo onu he je do ye ni mo ena dike na agbo ni pe me tin to le nu lo le eta mi mo do ego
to hoye jidi kando letin lenu holudu de letin ye ma do weho
eyan
to di he otogbo holudu ko ni na ye kwe so apo etonme so yi yede bo e ma gbon aye ma te gan le de ba ejedo ye ni za akwe he do tito owe ihe aho do to we
de tito le
do tonle le do ni no wiwe ho o sin dagbe
o dan tin na gbetole
bo sin dagbe na tin na gbetole li do to we e ma ido ina ajigba do to we mo ina gba do to we yi azan wa tole do fine yen video tole do to le ina so ho amasin
do
ni e to e hele bayi bo ovo bibla wa yi to menule ina o meye to na vivi o meye to na vivi na do fo chite do me tito fine dai e wa zan dagbe na mi bidike mi fon bo so blavu na me hele ma dodo me to fine me na tun azipoji di ma wa dagbe mo ya ji do na ya ji dodo je ni tepon bo so bayi azan de so su gaji de do yin do akọ ewiwa so to gbo holudude bodo bio aloye tan me
eyan to di onu eyin azan de jedo na comme gan cancel ole nino wa weyin na do pon nu eyin wudo me tin to ye de leton bo so ya oze oho ye ton je janji no to lede na ye ni motendo fon bo wa azan ye ton le to din onu eyin tito na do hen nyonu le kavi na do hen yopon le na do no yawu no be mi ma ye ton to tito to ho di doton me etewe mi modo mo ye si gan bayi bo nyonu le ye na yin papa no ye na yin home vivi no ye na yin vive no na do gualo na o kandudu to lenu ye ton le
ni mi to nyonu le si hodo bo so to jojale si hodo mi na modo me hele we no wazan ganji ma dodo sun simi le ma no wazan mo sun sile lo sun no wazan
eyan
ṣùgbọ́n ohode tin de igbetole lododo ni agwadagbe kavi ni ago alo na yonu ato alogona osoheja
yes
torí ni yonu dokuran edo azon dagbe uwe na do gwa alo na to menule so din podo yonu po jojale po ye ni tepon ye ni wazan ye tan dide jedo po gwa alo na ye ganji ni do iro to soheja akwede popo de holudu ziza na kandole po ena ton bok to menule na mo o sindagbe to ti to yi ton leji
edo hiado mo azon me poton we na do go alo na lenu miton lenu holudu miton le ye na we cheche bo ye na somo nu eyin hudo ye ton le bo ho me ton na vivi bo oku ya na devo we na bravo
we na beto de fie
devo bo me de tinto ejida ile ye na je me tinto fo gbe le mi don to mi susu egbe godo okuye negbe we devo na wa ayimete mi ave mi do mo na mi ni penukun nulego do le jado na azonhe mi bravo na to egbele na wa ni motendo he alewa mi do ndo mi ezun wedenu
20 local governments, 37 local council development areas.
That's not how it is. I can see.
Okay, thank you so much for staying tuned. Okay, it's a live program, so sometimes anything can happen. All right, we're back here on Lagos Decide 2025, and of course it is past 3 p.m. In fact, it's almost 4. It's just a minute to 4. Remember the restriction order ended at 3 p.m. So our correspondent caller sent in a video earlier on where people were actually at the toll gates just waiting for 3 p.m. so they could be allowed back into the state. And also, as we speak, counting has started in a couple of polling units across the state. You know, unlike the national election where INEC will do a declaration of results, I think this time around it will be at various local governments. But let's quickly do a recap of what has happened today and going forward, some of the things that we expect, to happen. We still have in the studio, of course, Omoba Adeyinka Oyediran, of course, is here in the studio with us, and would also be joined via Zoom by Abdulmomin Edidi. He was here with the language people earlier on, and so he'll be joining us now to also take a recap at some of the things that we've seen today and what we expect going forward in grassroots governance in Nigeria. Thank you again for staying through with us, Omoba Adeyinka.
It's my pleasure.
All right, and Abdulmomin, thank you for joining us via Zoom. All right, okay, I'm sure that as the conversation continues, we'll be able to hear Abdulmomin speak with us. Okay, let's start from you, Omoba. I mean, we've talked so much about today. We've talked so much about voter apathy. We've talked so much about governance at the grassroots. And I know that you're one who is very passionate about seeing reforms and seeing changes going forward. So let's look at the immediate, those things that we can see perhaps immediately. How do we expect that at the end of the day, maybe from when the chairmen are sworn in and they start again issues around governance, what are some of those things that you would like to see at the immediate translate into good governance at the grassroots?
Thank you very much. This is Lagos. Most of the time I do tell anybody that cares to listen that we take the lead, others follows. And for us to take the lead, it means we shouldn't rest on our oars. We should keep on, doing more, because those that are coming behind, they're looking for new things to be seen. Now, the issue of any chairman being sworn in now, to me, I want the masses to rise up. When I say rise up, not fight. Not fight, yeah. To their responsibility, to be alive, to understand what it takes. You understand me? To be underneath an authority, because this is your own authority, local government, the closest government. Majority on the next 1 year, somebody might be in Lagos and might not go to Abuja. Somebody might even be in Bariga, might not come to Alausa. So your own governor in your own local government is the chairman. As you are owning the responsibility of doing the right thing, paying your dues, paying whatever rates that you are supposed to pay, the same way you have every right to inquire from the chairman, according to the party that brought you in, this and this are what you were expecting. You have done this. We don't want a repetition of same thing or something in the same mode. Improve on it. If you are doing road for us, do it qualitatively, so that we will know that. I went to an area in Ogun State. I saw a road that was done by Awolowo in the western region, still existing in one village over there. It means that road is quality. So things like that do for us. Let people rise up to understand the fact that the government, the money that is being expended in their area is not the chairman's money. When chairman says that, shut him up and tell him, look, this is government in a decent manner. I'm not saying fight, but constructively. This is our money. My chairman, sir, with all humility, you are talking about our money. Now, and when the government does anything in your area, as I've said that earlier on, take charge of it, take responsibility. And where you think that things are not being, complain constructively. I don't like the way opposition were complaining yesterday, that it was only yesterday that they started having the list of qualified candidates to contest today. That one is too short.
Okay.
That one is too, I don't know, it's dangerous for our democracy. So check whatever, go through the regulation where it is necessary. Know where the technicality can easily fall you. Correct it. Start preparing candidates that will come into the next election, you know, in such a manner, groom them in such a manner that they'll be up and doing. Then, on the part of the state government, borrow leave from what was done during MPNO regime, where they have PLO. Organize governor liaison officer. Then do a listening here. Have a corner where they can make complaint.
Okay. I think your points are well said. But let me go to Abdul Mumin, and my question is, I'm sure you've been following proceedings as far as this election is concerned. What are the sore thumbs, or what are the sore areas for you, and where do you think this election perhaps fall short of the standard you were thinking which will happen? And then perhaps the second part is, for the young people, what have they learned from this? Because the next thing you hear or you see is comment on social media as against going out to vote and not playing football.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Please confirm you can hear me.
We can hear you clearly.
Okay, thank you. So, as regards the run-up to the election, I think that last year, as far as I'm concerned, has taken this responsibility as business as usual. They are still giving us the barest minimum, and I don't think that's stable. They need to do a lot more, especially with sensitization. Now, the federal government is talking about local government autonomy. And we cannot afford to have the institution that manages the electoral process of the local government to offer the people the barest minimum. They need to step up their game. Sensitization, mobilization of resources. There are reports from various places today where balloting materials got there like 2 hours late. Basically, turnout has been very poor. Of course, there are some indigenous areas of Lagos where people will naturally turn out because it is their tradition. But then in most places, the turnout has been poor. And as for young voters, I don't think young voters have turned out for this election. I don't think they were even aware of this election. And the fault still lies on the electoral umpire or the people who have been saddled with putting together this process, which is LASEC. So they need to be very serious about this. Otherwise, the whole essence of the local government autonomy will just wash down the drain. Okay,
you said, perhaps let me just touch on that a little briefly, when you said you don't think young people are aware that there is even a local government election. So I know they talk so much about the presidents, and of course, sometimes, perhaps, they just remember that there's a state governor, but everything falls down on whether the president is alive or is away out of the country. So do they realize, I mean, this election has really shown that young people do not realize that they are in a particular ward, okay, managed by a particular councillor, and in a local government managed by a chairman. So where does government start with young people if they don't understand that these people literally manage their day-to-day experience?
Okay, so I would like to, because you've mentioned young people, I would like to say this in different forms. First, we need to encourage participation of young people in youth leadership. We need to encourage participation of young people in student leadership. I'm not surprised because I've spoken to students across different campuses in the country. And what I tell most of the student union leaders at different times is, look, you as a student union president, out of 24,000 students, 30,000 students on your campus, you were elected by maybe 1,200 votes. It starts from there. So it's not even, it's a complex issue. You come to the youth leadership space, the youth council, the community development youth association, how many people are electing these people? Everybody goes on by thinking it's none of their business. But that's not right. From home, I think parents at this point in time, if you find your child who is eligible to vote and is seated at home on election day, you should be the ones to encourage them to go to the polls, because again, we are talking about our future here. So it's not anybody's single responsibility. It's a collective duty, right? LASEC needs to ensure that the young people and people generally feel safe when they come out to cast their vote. Somebody told me today when I posted him, why are you not voting? He said, he still has PTSD from the last general election where they were chased with machetes, right? So these are some of the issues that happen. It doesn't happen, but then I did say that, look, people need to understand that participation in local government election is paramount. Why? Because if you do not participate in local government election, which is like the one for your community, your immediate environment, and people get to see you, when you suddenly come out during general elections, I'm sorry to say, but they would feel that you have an agenda. But if they see you that you come out every now and then, even if you are in opposition, some people have been in opposition for the past 20, 30 years, they will still keep going to vote for that same party that they belong to, which is an opposition party. Nobody disturbs them. Maybe jokingly they mock them and then they just laugh it off because they are all neighbors. But when you are selective in your participation, then you raise suspicion. And then, unfortunately, in the space where we are, people would react negatively and become aggressive towards you. So again, anybody who knows he or she wants to participate in the general election, start familiarizing yourself with your environment, with the electoral process. Let them know you. Let them know you belong to that polling unit. Let them know you belong to that ward. So when you want to eventually cast your vote to your preferred candidate at the general election, they'll say, well, it's coming, he or she is coming to exercise our civic duties.
Okay. All right, Amoba, back to you. What we've seen today, although it is the local government election in Lagos, can we liken this to the 2027 elections in any way?
Of course.
How?
It has relationary bearing. You see, when we were talking earlier in the day, I spoke about the process by which a candidate emerges.
Right.
I think we have to be godly enough on the part of the leaders. Yes, you are inside your comfort zone. You have a preferred candidate. That preferred candidate, is it good enough to be councillor? If not, find something else for that person.
Okay.
Is it good enough to be chairman? Imagine somebody is contesting today now as a councillor. The only yardstick is the fact that he has been serving this leader over a period of time. Not about capability, not about fair representation, not about the ability to harness a lot of. And when we are talking about election, we are talking about numerical strength of that community to be able to turn out large volume of votes. Right. So I feel that in preparation for 2027, it is now that we're supposed to have used this arena as just this person can bring about large volume of whatever is loved in the area. He's been contributing his quota. He has what it takes to bring large volume of people outside. But if you are saying that because of your own personal interest, you are destroying the larger program. I was asking a question. I said, if you said this is the first time in the recent time that we are going to have a Yoruba person elected by us, not by us, based on his antecedent, that he ran Lagos State for 8 years and he did well. He created a platform that is good enough for anybody to mount upon and say, yes, we have done it before. It was a sellable point, you know, a selling point for anybody to say, okay, actually you did this. Now we are talking about Nigeria as a whole, not Lagos State. So we need to do something, you know, that will bring about more votes. we cannot lose our home base. Right. Repetition of what happened in 2023 is a reflection of what happened in 2021 when we have unpopular candidates or certain people are put in certain area. Then again, when it comes to election, who are handling it? Those who are interested, when you put a wretched person at the end of affairs, he's going to be afraid of what happens when that area finishes. Okay. So large chunks of money that's supposed to be used to bring a lot of people on board, to woo them, or to do one activities or the other that endear them to go and vote, will be taken apart. So a personal, personal use, and you are equally reducing the volume of votes. I kept on using Oshodi Solo as an example in the last dispensation. When we had the presidential election, we lost with 28,000 votes.
Okay, sorry to cut you short, because we really need to just cut so that we can still accommodate some more people here. I'd like to ask Abdul Momin the same question here, because particularly you are a representation of the youth, and as we speak, the youth play a pivotal role in the electioneering process in Nigeria as a whole. So what has happened in Lagos today, the local government election? Like I asked them, Omobo Yediran, is this a reflection of what the 2027 election is likely to go by if nothing is done to nip it in the bud?
Well, so I don't think so. I don't think so, because this has always been the pattern, unfortunately, about local government elections. But again, I think it is a good feedback, for political parties, for the electoral umpires, and for the citizens ourselves. Is a good feedback for us to take and work towards 2027. What I think is that the electoral, the political arena, the political scene for 2027 is just building up. And so there are a lot of indices that are going to influence and affect that process. The emergence of alternative political parties, the performance and the meeting the expectation of the citizens by the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and all of those things are things that will play. Some people would say, oh, this government has done enough, they want the government to continue. Some will be like, no, this government has not met their expectations, so they want. So, of course, everybody sees a new electoral cycle as an opportunity, to express their own opinion and their own voices at the poll. Oh,
okay. All right. We'll begin to, wind down this conversation as we speak. But we do have Samuel Dada trying to get in touch with us in the studio this afternoon. Hopefully, he will be able to reach out to us before we wrap it up on this segment of the show. But just to buy a little bit of time for Samuel to come in here, would be, as we wrap up here, Omoba, what would be your charge, going forward to Nigerians generally, again, as a point to improve our political participation at the grassroots level? Let's quickly take this call. Perhaps it is Samuel. Hello?
Hello?
Good afternoon, Samuel.
Hello?
Samuel Dada, we can hear you. Good afternoon.
Okay. Despite the delayed take-up of voting in Badagry, voters eventually dropped out and performed their civic responsibility.
Okay.
I'm presently at a neighboring town in Badagry West Local Council Development Area.
Okay.
And with me here is the Commissioner for Youth and Social Development in the state.
Okay.
Honorable Mopolaji.
Ogunlende. All right. Okay.
Who heard from the staff. And every process is peaceful here. As a matter of fact, counting of votes has actually
started.
Taken place.
Okay.
It's ongoing now.
Okay.
They're counting.
Okay.
The commissioner is there.
All right. Would you want us to engage him? Is it there? Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. We can hear you, Samuel. We can hear you.
So, Honorable Commissioner, if you are you happy with the process, the turnout there for you? Is this what you envisaged?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, good afternoon. Hope you are having the best time of your time voting today. Is this what you envisaged with today's local government elections?
Yes, good afternoon. I can hear you. Sorry, can you repeat that?
Okay, I said, I'm sure you've performed your civic responsibility. Is this how you've envisaged or you've seen this whole process of local government election play out?
Okay, well, I mean, at the end of the day, as you know, with everything in life, there's always room for improvement, right? And like I said earlier on, we started slow, but we were able to pick up momentum, and we have successfully completed.
Welcome to Badagry line.
Yeah, you could turn.
And as last year, and as a party, but ultimately, the end result justified the means, and we're happy.
I mean, largely, there's been a low turnout of electorate across Lagos today. And as a player in the Badagry axis, what are you intending to do going forward?
Hello?
Okay, did you hear the question?
No, I heard there's something about low turnout.
Yes, low turnout across the state. How do you intend to address this going forward?
Well, I mean, for me here in Asheri community, we came out
Oh God.
We have time to advocate, we have time to call on our people, we have time to sell our candidates, right? So people have come out en masse, and that is what we're expected to do.
All right. Okay.
In future, for those that have low turnout, again, it just goes to show that there's a lot of more work
to be done.
And we need to look at support with the low turnout. One thing I've heard across board is that in some areas, materials come out as quickly as they anticipated.
Okay.
So people have come out and they don't have to this area that materials are discharged as quickly as possible. But aside that, each environment has specific
peculiarities.
For specific things to happen.
Yes.
So I think each environment will need to do an analysis as to what has happened.
Okay.
As a party and as a people, so that we can begin against this in future. But for us in Asheri, we've come out en masse and we're happy with our numbers.
Okay. Would I have to let the commissioner go?
Confidently about this, but I can't really speak to other areas right now. But again, in Badagry, as general, speaking to other leaders and other members across board, it seems like in Badagry generally we've had a good turnout.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Honorable Commissioner Mobolaji Ogulende, for speaking with us. All right. Samuel, thank you. And thank you so much for right.
Thank you.
Okay. Of course, that was our correspondent, Samuel Dada, and we had the opportunity to also speak with the Commissioner for Youth and Social Development, Mobolaji Ogulende. We need to run and we need to, wrap up this segment. So as we go, your final word, I mean, generally, your expectations on the part of the people and the government.
Like I kept on repeating, the government needs to do more in terms of advocacy.
Okay.
Then if opportunity is there for them to have feedback system so that they can correct some anomalies ahead of time, then encouraging people to be able to enjoy what they are doing and also reciprocating. Okay. But if we specifically areas that people are yearning for, that should be what the government should be doing, and getting those domiciling what they are doing at the state. The state is doing fantastically good, but they need to domicile same to the local government so that it can get to the masses, and also popularizing it by disseminating information. If you are doing well and the information is not getting across, it will look as if you're
not doing anything.
Yeah,
Abdul Mumin, 30 seconds, your final take here.
Okay, so my final word is our people who need to understand that politicians will always play politics. And then in the process of that politics, there's going to be information saturation. It is our responsibility to diffuse everything, to break it down and pick valuable information to ultimately decide who we cast our votes for.
Okay.
But whatever the process is, it should not deter us from coming out from time to time to exercise our franchise.
Right.
It is not just an exercise, it is a referendum.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Abdul Mumin, for your time with us on the program today. We appreciate your thoughts. Omobo Yediro, thank you so much for giving us your time on the program today.
Beautiful on my side.
We'll take a quick break. When we return, of course, we'll be joined by Razak Olokwoba, Jide Ologun, as well as Dr. Akinola, who will also be joining us via Zoom from London. And then, of course, I guess we'll see you again shortly.